What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a really fun set of battles with Turtonator, Azumarill, and Lucario. I can already say this is probably going to be a very boomful video. Excited to see what Turtonator is capable of in this meta. Every time I faced off against it, I found that I had a lot of trouble because I was running Pokemon weak to fire, and obviously Turtonator is bringing the heat. Shout out to Rich BGD for sharing these battles with us, and let's go and get right into it. Okay, getting into the first battle here. Now, I believe this is in the Expert Elo range. So we have a Registeel on the lead. Obviously, really good matchup for Turtonator, as they will decide to swap out into Azumarill. And they are running, I believe, with Overheat and Flash. Well, that's obviously Flash Cannon. I think this is Overheat, though. We'll have to see on the animation. Okay, yeah, it is the Overheat. They're going to go ahead and swap out now into the Mirror. They have two good answers for the Registeel in the back, right? The Lucario and now the Turtonator. So getting an advantage in some way in the Mirror match is something they needed to do, as they will decide to go for Play Rough here. Now, the moveset on Azumarill in this meta can vary. Hydro Pump really helps you out against a lot of the steals out there, like Registeel, Galarian, Stunfisk, for example. And the Play Rough is obviously needed for the Mirror. So I think Ice Beam is the one on the chopping block when it comes to this meta, as we will see them look to overload, and we do see a swap back into Registeel now to catch the Play Rough. So question is, do they come in with Turtonator, or do they come in with Lucario? As the Registeel is going to go ahead and load up on energy, they will swap in with Turtonator here, as the fast move Incinerate. It actually got a buff this season in the damage that it does. Yeah, they're going to let this go through as well. It's looking to be the Focus Blast, not enough to KO there, as Turtonator can easily hang on. And they're going to go ahead and look to go for an Overheat here to one-shot this minty Registeel. Let's see if it does. Boom. Down it goes. Uh-oh. Something happened. Turning off Wi-Fi. Maybe right there we do see a Flygon in the back. My personal favorite MVP, the most valuable Pokemon for this meta. It's a good coincidence that MVP in sports is most valuable player, but I'm explaining the joke. Lucario, though, able to handle Flygon pretty well when it's deep in shields, because Flygon's damage is going to be charge move heavy. So as long as they have two shields, they should be able to put enough pressure here to take out the Flygon. There is still an Azumarill with energy on the back end, so they got to watch out for that, as they will go for another Blaze Kick here to try to KO the Flygon. The Azumarill, I think, has a little bit of energy. Let's see. It is going to... Okay, they do decide to shield. They will be able to KO the Lucario here. Even with the Dragon Claw, I think it's going to be enough. Scorching Sands, though, boom, takes it out. Azumarill comes in. They got to get to this play rough in time, but this is going to be a close game. One bubble, I think, might be enough to take out the Flygon, and they barely survive right there, as the Play Rough now should be able to KO the Azumarill. Now it's going to come down to fast moves here. Bubble versus Mudshot, and I think Bubble gets it. Yeah, Bubble does. 1 HP in a dream. Good game. All right, moving into the next one here. Okay, this is the Veteran, and I think they get to Legend, which is, or not Legend, to Expert. Congratulations to them. We do have a Shadow Flygon, which Turtonator does not like, and we will see the Lucario swap in right away. And they're gonna have to shield. I think this was a bit quick, but it's Scorching Sands, obviously something you gotta fear, as they do stop the Dragon Claw, and we will see the Weezing come in. Weezing's got a very interesting move set for this meta. I need TMs to make mine work. I'm actually out, but it has access to Sludge, a move that never gets used. Honestly, never gets used. Overheat as well. Boom! But the Sludge is really nice against other fairies. It's a poison type move. I know it's not Sludge Wave. It's literally just Sludge. As we will see another charge move come through here. This might be the Sludge. Let's see if it is. You have to go based on it is the Sludge right there. So not too much damage, but obviously against fairies, it's going to do quite a bit, as the Turtonator is able to farm down. We do see the Flygon come back in, so they're going to go ahead and go for the Overheat. Even though this is resisted, Shadow Flygon cannot take a hit from anything, so it's going to be forced to shield regardless, as they now swap into a Azumarill, and a Magnezone swaps in. This is not a good situation, as Magnezone has the opportunity to do quite a bit of damage against Azumarill. They are forced to throw their final shield, and that's why you have that Hydro Pump, because a lot of Steel-type Pokemon cannot survive it. Only a few really do, Registeel being the most prominent, as a Wild Charge, boom, takes him out. Turtonator is going to go ahead and come in and farm down, and it looks like they're going to no-shield the charge move, as they should be resisting there. They do get the full farm down, and now they just need one more fast move here to get to the charge move to take out the Flygon. So Turtonator is going to be able to win this one with an overheat, as that is going to be a boom kind of game. Good game. Alright, moving into the next one here. So yeah, Turtonator is super niche. I don't think we see it unless it gets bait moves. Maybe there's a community day down the line, something like that. If it gets bait moves, I think this thing becomes more probably a part of the meta, the spicy meta, as we will see a Flygon swap in. But they're going to swap into Azumarill now. Now, this is the dangerous thing about a Shadow Flygon so far ahead on energy, is it really can ramp up its damage, or not its damage, it can unload a lot of damage, and the energy gain from it is just insane. As a Flygon user myself, I love when players swap in late, just because of how far ahead I can get with Mudshot. And we will see a Play Rough now come through looking to KO Flygon, as they do decide to shield, rightfully so. This Flygon should be able to get to another Earth Power in time, and they do, just in time right here, looking to force shield number 2. Now they're going to do that as well. Azumarill is going to go ahead and give up all the shields now, as they do have the Play Rough ready to go. Flygon won't be able to survive, but it does have another shield remaining. Tough thing is Bubble going to be able to farm down in time? No, they swap out into a Whimsicott. So Turtonator going to be loving life right now, as they go ahead and go for the overheat right away. Whimsicott came into the wrong battle. Boom! See ya! Whimsicott is out of the game. Flygon comes in, almost gets completely farmed down. I believe it was Magnezone on the lead. So they don't even KO with the charge move of, I think that was Dragon Claw. And we do see the Magnezone come in, so Lucario now is going to try its best to get to the Blaze Kick in time. Why do I feel like it's Fire Punch? Let me double check on the other screen real quick, because it just got access to the move. Let's see. I'm second guessing myself. Lucario. No, it is Blaze Kick. Okay, I'm not going crazy. All right, it is Blaze Kick. Good game right there. Azumarill won it, I guess. Let's see. Sorry. Azumarill. Yeah, Azumarill won it with the Play Rough. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Lucario with Blaze Kick. Pretty interesting. Good coverage. It's a lot better than the Power Up Punch, but sometimes Power Up Punch just really ramps up that damage, right? All right, we got Turtonator versus Shiny Registeel once again, so a really positive lead, as they will swap into Azumarill right away. And I'm hoping I didn't put two of the same battles into the video. Sometimes that happens when it's because they swap into Azumarill. So sometimes when there's battle submissions that get sent to me, sometimes it's one full clip beginning to end of just one video, and sometimes it's a bunch of individual clips. And so when it's individual ones, I throw them up there in a random order, and sometimes I put up two of the same one on accident. So that might be the case here. We'll find out, as the so far it's looking the same. Obviously the overheat into Azumarill swap in, going for the Play Roughs. This is obviously what you need to be doing in this matchup. The question is, do they catch this on Registeel? Let's see. No, they don't. It's a different game. Thank goodness. It's a different game, everyone. You guys are probably yelling at me through your phone that you checked who was on the lead. Yeah, Registeel swapping, because that first one, right, Registeel caught it. But in this case, Azumarill might just be able to get to the Hydro Pump in time. Doesn't look like it, though. They will let it go. And Zap Cannon or Focus Blast. Not enough. Azumarill, the thick bunny, able to survive as they get to the Hydro Pump in time. This added chip damage is going to be very, very helpful as they counter swap into Turtonator now and draw out a Shadow Flygon. So I think Lucario has this with 2 shields and counter, right? That's Flygon's really biggest weakness, is a Pokemon with a hard-hitting neutral fast move. Obviously super effective if you have it, maybe like Dragon Tail or something, but hard-hitting neutral fast move and down shields is a tough thing for a Shadow Flygon. So we will see that Lucario come in, fully counter down, can easily double shield here. I don't even think Flygon gets to, no, it doesn't get to 2 charge moves. Lucario got that counter through, and now the Registeel is going to go down as well, as it just doesn't have enough energy or health. We will see the double Blaze Kick to close this game out. They might even try to do the fancy sack swap here, but the opponent probably just lets it go, to be completely honest, or close the phone. Yep, that's going to be a good game. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next one here. Okay, that was an end of a set. All right, they did a nice 4-1 on that set. We're going to go ahead and move in the next one. This is straight battle submissions as well. I usually don't chop them up just because we could miss some things if I chop stuff up, so we're just going to leave it as is. We got another Registeel on the lead, so Turtonator's having a good time today catching these Registeels. We see a Shadow Gardevoir swap in. Oof. This Pokemon is going to get melted by Incinerate as they go ahead and go for the full farm down, but they have to throw Overheat now. And this is, the Gardevoir basically has to shield if it wants to take Switch, so they're going to go ahead and do that. Azumarill now could come in and bubble down, which is what they're looking to do, as they will let the... Was this enough for Shadow Ball? No, it was a triple Axle. Good no shield right there. I was going to say that was a bit quick. I think Shadow Ball needed 1 or 2 more, as Registeel is going to go ahead and come in. Now, it's all going to come down to what Pokemon number 3 is, but commonly Registeel and Azumarill pair well together like peanut butter and jelly in this meta because of their cross coverages to each other. There's the Azumarill in the back. Wait, no, that was a Water Gun fast move. Did you see the animation? I feel like that was Water Gun, so Tapu Fini? It's Tapu Fini! Alright, we got Lucario now coming in, and Tapu Fini with Water Gun can actually put in quite a bit of work in this matchup, but thankfully Lucario does have the 2-to-1 shield advantage. It might just be able to fully farm down. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Blaze Kick be thrown here to try to force a shield from the Tapu Fini, because if they don't, they're going to get farmed down. Yeah, they're going to get farmed down before they can get to another Surf, as now it's going to be a Registeel versus a Lucario. Double Blaze Kick ready to go, and that is going to be a good game. So we got some really cool Pokemon on this team, some fan favorites. Lucario here, obviously, a big one. And Turtonator is growing on me. It's growing on me. Good game. All right, moving into the next one. We have... Let's see here. Turtonator versus Shadow Excadrill. Wow, this thing is not going to like Incinerate as they swap out into Weezing here. They're going to go ahead. Oh, we got a move change as well. They have Dragon Pulse instead of Flash Cannon. Curious to why they changed that. I might have missed that on the notes. Let me see if there was any notes here about... We'll just go ahead. Hold on. We'll go ahead and... I'll check the notes on the battle submission to see what they said, because I believe they said Flash Cannon to help out against Azumarill, but this looks to be the later set, as yeah, Turtonator Flash Cannon most of the time, so that was just their choice. So I guess they're having mixed feelings about Dragon Pulse or Flash Cannon. To be fair, they weren't even using Flash Cannon in any of the previous battles. Even against Azumarill, it took a little bit too long, and the Overheat did exactly what it needed to. So if you're trying to save candy, and maybe you don't have enough for Turtonator in order to get a second charge move, maybe just go Incinerate Overheat. I think you'll be just fine, as we will see another Play Rough come through right here to soften up the Azumarill. And then they're going to be in a tough position unless they get to the second Play Rough, which they're not going to. I feel like Lucario is going to have to come in and farm down. Obviously, Turtonator, with how low it is, isn't going to be... Okay, they're just going to go for the overheat or force the energy. They will decide to shield as well. So let's see how the opponent decides to react as they stop that Ice Beam. They're going to overload a bit as they go for overheat now. This is going to do pretty much enough damage to take out Azumarill. As, oh, they decide to shield, so they're forced to swap into Lucario now to load up on energy. No shields on the opponent's side, and they go for the Blaze Kick on CMP Tai. This might just be enough to KO, and it is. Azumarill goes down. The Shadow Excadrill is forced to come in, and it's going to get farmed down by a Lucario, and the final Pokemon is going to be a surrender. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving into the next one. Take some guesses on what that final Pokemon was. My guess, Registeel or... Oh, man, or Escavalier. This is a beautiful Escavalier. You gotta bail. We do see a Tapu Fini swap in. I can already tell you what this team is going to be. It is going to be Escavalier, Tapu Fini, and Azumarill. Why? Actually, I could be completely wrong. The Tapu Fini safe swap just gives it away. Azumarill, in this meta, there's no grass types to worry about. Ferrothorn, obviously. Yeah, I think Turtonator and Lucario might take this, as the opponent's gonna have to go for Moonblast. But having a water fairy safe swap, it's a pretty big tell that Azumarill is gonna be in the back. That's just my team read. Maybe you guys see something different. Maybe hindsight, you're rewatching this part and going, it was a Flygon in the back or something. I don't know, something like that. We're going to go ahead and see a play rough now come through from Azumarill, and this is a good call on them to make sure they overload on energy. That way they could potentially get to a play rough or Hydro Pump versus the Escavalier, which is what they desperately need to get to here. Hydro Pump does a lot of damage, and they get to it in time. This is huge. That is a big play by Richard here, as... or Rich, I should say. It probably is Richard. Maybe it's not. But they do get a shield. Turtonator now coming in, absolutely destroying. Look at that. That's a fast move. That's a fast move, everyone. They do get the shield, though, with an Acid Spray, and it is Azumarill in the back, so I was right. It just makes sense, right? If you see the Tapu Fini safe swap, you're going to have an Azumarill in the back. Now, Lucario is still in a good position here to win this game. Shadow Ball actually does like 42.7%. I don't know if that's the exact answer. It does quite a bit. So what they need to do is overload. Oh, they're going to go for Shadow Ball here. I felt like they could have gotten away with maybe 3 more counters. And then Shadow Ball, yeah, good amount of damage. They should be able to get the farm down here. They do get it, and they actually have the Blaze Kick ready to go. So actually perfectly timed right there by Rich. So it didn't matter either way. Blaze Kick going to be able to KO. Boom. Down goes the Escavalier, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Alright, looks like we got one more battle here. Yeah, this looks to be the final one. Let's see how this one goes. Doing really well today with this team. Turtonator obviously has a big impact on this meta, and you guys have seen, you know, not only what it does against steals, but the damage it can do against Azumarill as well is pretty impactful, as we do see an Azumarill here on the lead. Let's see how they decide to play this. As Incinerate still does a decent amount of damage, and considering it's resisted and Turtonator is getting hit for neutral damage here, they actually do quite a bit. They're going to go ahead and swap out in their own Azumarill, and they do draw out the energy. This is actually a big play for them, because Azumarill with energy is one of the deadlier things for their team, and as long as they get that out of the way, things are actually looking pretty good. Now, because the opponent isn't swapping out just yet, this is a tell to me that maybe there's Flygon in the back. You can't swap a Flygon into Azumarill, so they got to try to soften it up, and they're waiting for Rich here to throw their energy before they swap. And Rich is doing a good job making sure he overloads well past one charge move, as if the opponent decides to, they're going to go for the next play rough. Just get rid of this Azumarill. That way Lucario maybe has a really good time here in the end game. There is a Flygon in the back. I'm telling you, team reading. You gotta look at what your opponent does and does not do. It's a big tell to what is potentially there on their team as they go for Scorching Sands. Now Lucario can come in. We do see a Turtonator swap in, so they gotta swap into their own. And this is where things get deadly. They are behind on energy. And this is now a stare down of the ages as they do stop the Dragon Pulse. And it's going to be a Dragon Pulse right back. And this is, I don't know if Rich comes out of this one alive, because the Flygon in the back is what's ultimately going to seal the deal here, as they are behind on energy. They're one full fast move behind. Even shields as well. They stop another Dragon Pulse. They're going to go for their own. And Lucario, oh man. I don't foresee a win con. They let it go. That means Flygon's gonna come in and load up on energy. The Dragon Claw here is not enough. Actually, it might be enough to KO. Yeah, it is gonna be enough to KO. Sorry, no. Yep, that's gonna be a good game. They go for Blaze Kick here, but Flygon, unfortunately, is the king of energy, and that's going to be a good one. They do get a shield, and it makes a lot of sense, right? When they swapped in their Azumarill and the opponent did not swap out, look at why. They had Flygon and Turtonator in the back. Boom! Down they go. That's a good way to go out. Go down hard, right? Go down swinging. So good games right there to Rich BGD. Congrats on hitting Expert. I believe they hit it right here, so we will see them get that. And honestly, a pretty cool team. Turtonator obviously puts in a lot of work. Yeah, they did hit Expert. Puts a lot of work in this meta as there's so many steel types. And then Lucario is really nice closer, and Azumarill is just fantastic overall. So really great games there. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Shout out again to Rich BGD for sharing these battles with us. And like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.